Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to another episode of Brawl News, your favorite spot to get all the juicy details of what is happening inside of the Brawl Stars community. Guys, we have a very interesting episode to get into. As you all know, right now, there's a lot of speculation, a lot of theory crafting going on in the community on what might be coming in this next update, and we're going to be getting into a few other things in today's video, such as bringing up all the significant dates that have been sneak peeked in recent past here in the Brawl Stars community and try to pinpoint it on what makes sense for this next update to come out, as well as we have another really interesting date that coincides with the WKBRL. We also have a few other new theories saying that there might be 2 brawlers coming out in this update, and it gives me suspicion that this next big update might be the big carnival theme, which we also have a little bit more evidence on. But we'll get into all that information in today's video shortly. Hope you guys are excited. Let's get straight away into it. Brawl News, baby. Here we go. Alright everybody, so to start things off in today's video, we're going to be going over some of the significant dates that, one, have been brought up in recent past in the Brawl Stars community, but are being shed light upon once again because of its eerie connection with more recent dates that have been brought to our attention from the WKBRL livestream and other sources. And since several of these dates are basically within a few days of each other, we might be looking at a timeline for this next update, such as when a Brawl Talk is coming around the corner, when the actual update is dropping, and I think we might know that exact date, one that has been hidden underneath our noses for a long time, that took a tiny bit of theory crafting and digging to find out. So hope you guys are pumped up. Let's get into these dates. Okay guys, so we definitely have gone over this post in recent Brawl Newses here on the channel made by Gigantic, and it was his theory that this calendar in the Piper animation was giving us some significant dates. I told you guys to mark your calendar on the months to come, but I think we kind of, out of process of elimination, kind of honed in that it is indeed a September calendar, which is the month that a lot of people are thinking this update is coming out. I think it is. I shouldn't say I think. It's most definitely coming out around that time. So many different dates pointing to this, but on the calendar we have 10, 13, and 26. So September 10th as well as the 13th I think are a little bit more significant when trying to predict the outcome or the timeline of this next update to be dropped. As Gigantic is saying here, it makes sense for the 10th to be like a teaser, which we've had in the past for previous updates, the 13th being the actual Brawl Talk, and then the update coming shortly after that. And I have strong reason to believe that the actual update is going to be coming out on September 14th. Again, I could be wrong, but we have a very juicy Easter egg decrypted date that a lot of people are pointing out within the WKBRL live stream, which we will be getting into here shortly, that may confirm that actual date coming. Now, as for September 26th, something else significant might be coming if we are going on the speculation that this next update is going to be the carnival theme. Again, the evidence on that we'll get into a little bit later on here in today's video, but maybe if we are looking at 2 different brawlers, the 26th could be the release date of another brawler, or just another significant thing coming out in this bigger update. But that's enough on these dates. Let's move on to more. So everyone, moving along to our next significant date on the timeline for this update that we have for you in today's video, backtracking to a previous video that we did outlining all the noises coming out in the WKBRL live stream, this one in particular, and I know Lex brought it up in one of his most recent videos, but in this specific audio clip, the setting of this clip was basically a mental evaluation between a doctor as well as someone who is recording what the doctor is saying about 8-bit, and at the very end they bring up 2 significant dates, Thursday the 8th and Tuesday the 15th. So heading on over to the calendar here, I'm going to try to break this down very briefly because I know Lex brought this up in his most recent video as well, which I recommend you guys go watch. It was really interesting. But as you can see, Tuesday the 15th falls in the month of September, but Thursday the 8th falls in the month of October, which is definitely very strange here. Now, Lex's running theory on this date is that if we are getting a second brawler in this bigger update here coming around the corner, that it would make sense for it to be released here. I don't think 2 brawlers would be released at the same exact time, which, I don't know, definitely a good theory, and it definitely makes a lot of sense. If not, it might just be another thing coming out on that date that is somewhat important that needed to be on the WKBRL live stream, you know what I mean? So moving along to the next and final important date that I have for all of you guys, and I have strong reason to believe that this is the exact date of the update dropping here, because it was definitely hard to find out. It definitely took a few perceptive eyes in the Brawl Stars community to find this one out, but again, to explain this date, we have to bring this one up as well from the audio clip we just went over. So 9/15. Now, I don't think this is the exact date of the update, because as you all know, like we also brought up during the WKBRL live stream breakdown video, the crazy long one, we brought this point up as well, and that is, anyways, the 15th is the day after the next season starts, so who knows what is in store for us. So it gives me a little bit of a strange suspicion as to why the update would come out a day after Season 2 is scheduled to end in Brawl Stars. Now, if we take a closer look at the timelines of Season 1 as well as Season 2 here in Brawl Stars, as you can see, Season 1 started May 13th and ended July 6th, and then Season 2, Summer of Monsters, lasted from July 6th to September 14th, which is right around the corner here. So if we go off of this timeline, it makes sense for the update to arrive September 14th, much like Season 2 did when Season 1 ended on July 6th. But that's not the only bit of evidence that we have supporting that this update could be coming out on the 14th. Like I said in the beginning of the video, we have that other hidden date that wasn't really brought up yet, that was really hard to decrypt, that I want to save for a little bit because I actually think the date has some significance in what is actually coming out in the 3rd season of Brawl Stars. But before we do that, we need to talk about what makes sense to come out on the 15th, the day after the Season 2 ends, as well as the date that was sneak peeked in that sound clip that we just went over in today's video. Now, I'm having a little bit of a trickier time trying to pinpoint what makes sense to come out a day after a potential update coming out, if indeed it is coming out on the 14th. Again, I can be completely wrong on this one, just kind of explaining what's popping up in the Brawl Stars community and the theories revolving around it. So it could potentially be coming out on the 15th, I could be wrong, or it could be coming out on a different day even than that. But it's definitely important to take note that the Brawl Stars dev team has been known in the past to release the content of the updates in different ways each time. Just take, for example, this last season, we actually technically got the update on the 2nd before the Brawl Pass or Surge was even implemented in the game. I believe we got some new skins, some new maps, and stuff like that. And then we had to wait 4 days before the actual season came out with Surge and the Brawl Pass progression. So it's definitely not out of the question that we might be dealing with this kind of situation, right? We might be getting something coming out on the exact date that Season 2 is going to be ending, maybe the actual Brawl Pass and maybe the new Brawler, and then a day after another important feature would be added on the 15th. We really don't know based on previous updates and how they've been implemented in the game. But it also might make sense to have a weird update implementation here for this one, because this update might have some importance compared to other updates that we've had previously in Brawl Stars. So let's get into that secret date and what it might mean for the 3rd season of Brawl Stars. All right, everybody, so this mysterious hidden date that we're about to bring up is definitely surrounded in a shroud of theory brought up by the theory crafters in the community. What else would you expect here on the channel? But I found it incredibly interesting and noteworthy to bring up with all of you guys, and it has everything to do with April 19th, the day that the live stream started, the WKBRL live stream started, as well as other examples of 419 popping up in the past. This example on the loading screen that we had in Brawl Stars a few months ago. Alright, you guys, so this is gonna get a little bit wild, but stick with me here. So we have 419 in question. Here is the date that has been sneak peeked in the past or has been referenced to in the Brawl Stars community on the loading screen, as well as the startup of the WKBRL live stream. But like I said before, a lot of perceptive eyes pointed this out. If you look at it in reverse, you have 914. September 14th. Now guys, I'm not gonna deny we definitely have our tinfoil hats on in today's video, but it definitely wouldn't surprise me based on previous events here in Brawl Stars how cryptic and fun they've been delivering their Easter eggs as of recently. This definitely wouldn't surprise me here, and based on this date, a lot of people are pointing out that this Season 3 is going to be the Carnival theme, or a next significant step in the Carnival theme, because it is deeply rooted within the live stream, the startup date of the live stream, and it has been hinted for a long time. If we are going off of this theory, this update coming out on the 14th being connected to the WKBRL live stream, we very well could be seeing the accumulation of all these Easter eggs and sneak peeks of this Carnival theme coming to fruition with this Season 3 of the update. What it brings, I'm not quite sure. We have some speculation being like 2 different brawlers. I know Lex brought up a lot of great points, which we will be ending on in today's video, but in general, very, very interesting. And again, take it with a grain of salt. This is a very kind of deep theory, but it kind of makes sense. It follows the timeline when the update should be coming around the corner, right? Sometime in mid-September. But while taking that date with a grain of salt, I also think it's very, very important to take note of that these Easter eggs for the carnival theme have most definitely been ramping up as of recently. I mean, we had a dedicated mini game implemented in Brawl Stars, behavior very out of the ordinary from normal comings in the game that we play. And just in this last update, we had confirmation that the dev team is behind the WKBRL live stream, another really important piece to the puzzle for this carnival theme. And if you asked me, I feel like it wouldn't make sense, or I don't think it's possible to keep up the intensity of these Easter eggs for this carnival theme for a whole nother month or whatever we have to wait for the 4th season to come out in Brawl Stars. So I think we're kind of in that honey hole right now. But again, make sure to let me know what you guys are thinking on that front for sure. And then to wrap up today's video, I'd like to bring up some of the other noteworthy theories inside the community right now for this next update, what to expect with the content to come, and one namely coming from Lex's video yesterday. Once again, be sure to go check it out. It's very, very interesting to watch. But his theory is that General Ruff will be coming out with this update, and it makes a lot of sense if we are going into this carnival theme. If you don't know much about General Ruff, basically he was one of the original characters thought up from the art lead that we have here for Brawl Stars, and I want to add just a tiny bit more to this theory that Lex brought up in his video yesterday. I think if we're talking about General Ruff potentially coming to the game, it's really important to bring this note up coming from the 8-bit minigame as you're entering into the second game that it provides. But as you can see towards the end of it, fighting against militant dogs and chickens, I think that's a direct reference to General Ruff, militant dogs, military dogs. I mean, what else could it be? And we also have mention of outer space in this short dialogue as well. Like we've said before in past videos, but Brawl Stars was originally designed to be a game themed in outer space, so I think that even adds to the credibility that General Ruff could be coming out in this update. And if we are moving into this next phase in Brawl Stars, the carnival theme, I think it would make a lot of sense to develop and implement brawlers that were thought up for past versions of Brawl Stars, like General Ruff or something else. As for the second brawler to come, if we are getting a second brawler, I'm not quite sure. It could be a chicken, as it's saying militant dogs and chickens. Or the second brawler could be like Lex said in his most recent video, or how I said in the WKBRL live stream video, referring to this skin brawler, the molecular reconstruction, the shape-shifting brawler that I thought it was, and Lex thinks it might be like a healing brawler. Either way, whatever it is, we could be seeing the second brawler being this one that was referred to a lot in the WKBRL live stream. And the final thing I'd like to bring up before we end things in today's video that makes a lot of sense with everything we've been talking about today is Kairos's theory of a theme coming to Brawl Stars that is in outer space. I think it fits in really, really well with all of the other things being talked about here inside the community, namely Lex's theory that General Ruff is coming around the corner, a character in the very first rendition of Brawl Stars when the setting was in outer space. So I don't know, since this carnival theme is definitely going to be a lot different of an update compared to past updates in the game, and if we are indeed getting it in season 3, I think it would make a lot of sense to kind of have themes designed around this that would kind of like tell the story of Brawl Stars, how it started through how it is today, and then moving into something else, the carnival theme. Maybe we'll get like General Ruff in the first like bit of the update, and then have the outer space theme, and then maybe we'll progress into like the Wild West again, and then what we're at now, and then again finally moving into what we already know, kind of like how the minigame was implemented, right? So like the first stage was space, the second stage was Wild West, the third stage was where we're at now, and then the fourth stage, as it said, game not over, kind of referring that we're moving into it, could be something else. I don't know, guys, I'm just kind of spitballing here, but it's all really, really interesting. But yeah, guys, hopefully you all enjoyed today's video. Make sure to let me know what you're thinking about all this interesting stuff. You know I eat it up. It's one of my favorite things to do here inside of Brawl Stars. But yeah, guys, if you enjoyed it, be sure to slap a like on it. I'd really, really appreciate that. And with that being said, make sure to keep having fun with Brawl Stars. Have a fantastic rest of your day, and we'll see you in the next video. Peace out, you guys.